Hey gang, it's Demir from the Lifehack Method. Today I've got another Get Real rant for you. This time I'm ranting about time tracking. Before I get into it, this video is sponsored by Lifehack Tribe. Stick around to the end of the video to learn more about how you can get your first week in Tribe for just $1. Okay, time to get real. I get clients coming to me all the time saying, I don't have enough time for whatever it is, for a side hustle, to spend time with their family, to work out, whatever. The worst one is when people say, I don't have time to implement the changes that would save me time. I mean, that's the that just gets me the most frustrated. I know that if I just took a little time to make systems better, I would save a lot of time and actually get ahead of the curve, but I don't have the time to do that. Here's the thing. 99 out of 100 people who tell me they don't have the time, they have the time. Quick story. Once I had a client named Margie, super high profile lawyer, pretty interesting scenario. She came up to us saying, hey, I really need to work with you, but I just don't have the time to work with you. Okay, fair enough. I'll take the bait. Why can't you work with me right now? She said she didn't even have a spare 30 minutes a week to meet with me. Absolutely no time in her schedule for coaching. Okay. I said, listen, I don't know, but don't you think we could find like a little bit of time in your schedule to save time? But she was adamant. She was willing to die on that hill. No, I do not have any time. So I told her to track her time for 2 weeks, down to the 30-minute mark, personal and professional time. And I said, let's just see. Let's see what's happening. I promise you, you won't be worse off for having done this. And she agreed. So I sent her on her way. I don't hear back from her for a week, then 2 full weeks, then the whole 3 weeks passes by, and finally I hear from her. She started the email by saying she'd been putting off writing it because her results had shocked her so much. She found that on average, she was spending 11 hours a week reading the news. 11 hours. She said she just couldn't believe it. She had drawn this big red line. She was willing to die on that hill of, I swear I have no time. And it turns out she was spending 11 hours a week reading the news. Now, just to be clear, I don't fault her for not seeing that. We've all been there. We've all had cognitive biases that tell us all day, every day, we don't have time. But here's the thing. If you haven't tracked your time, don't come to me and tell me you don't have enough of it. Let me repeat. If you haven't put in the work to track at least 2 weeks of your time, do not come to me and say, I don't have enough time. It just bugs me so much because you don't know. And I don't know either. If a brilliant lawyer, head of her firm, swore to me up, down, left, right, center that she didn't have enough time and she was spending 11 hours reading the news, don't you think that maybe you and I have a little bit of time that maybe we just don't know is there? Now, from my experience, when somebody tells me they think maybe they've got 2 hours a week, I just multiply it in 4. They pretty much have 8 hours after they've tracked their time. If somebody says to me, Demir, the most time I have available a week is maybe 2 hours in one afternoon, I'll say, yeah, look, we're going to find 8 to 10 hours in your time tracking. And guys, even I'm guilty of this. Recently, Carrie and I have been saying for years that we want to write a book. And I found myself saying, like many people, oh, well, there's just no time. We're so busy. But then I tracked my time, which, by the way, I do 4 to 5 times a year. And guess what I found? I was watching internet-based entertainment for like 10 hours a week. 10 hours. Now, there's a lot of other excuses I could still give to not write the book. I could say I'm too tired. I could say it's not really a priority. Whatever excuse I want to use. But now that I've tracked my time, I cannot say that I don't have enough time because I do. And here's the thing. I'm not saying you have to track your time. It's actually something you have to want to do. I can't force you to want to do it. But you can't come to me as a productivity coach and tell me you don't have time if you haven't tracked your time. Just don't. Don't even, just save yourself the time. Because you don't know, and I'll bet you $1,000 you have a lot more time than you think if you cared to step into radical ownership of it. Now, there's a book about this exact topic that I love. I implore you to check it out. It's called 168 Hours by Laura Vanderkam. I love this book. And what I love about it so much is it takes a massive sample size of working mothers who are the busiest people in the world, and it tracks them. They track their time for 2 to 3 years. And the data is just indisputable. And it says that yes, you do have the time, but you need to be in radical ownership over that time and be radically intentional about that time. So if you're tired of the dead end argument and you're ready to find some time you didn't think you had, it's time to track your time. Now, I'm going to drop a link to our time tracking template below. Follow that link and make a copy of that spreadsheet yourself. But also, I'm going to drop a link to Laura Vanderkam's awesome 15-minute TED Talk called how to gain control of your free time. That's a great place to start learning about the power of time tracking. And of course, you should read her book if you like that TED Talk. I'll drop a link to it below. Folks, let's just take a moment to talk about today's sponsor, Lifehack Tribe. The Tribe is a monthly membership that we created for people who are just feeling overworked and overwhelmed and disorganized. Each month in Tribe, I host a bunch of awesome live calls, in-depth trainings, pre-planning sessions where we pre-plan our weeks together, coaching calls, so much more. In Tribe, here's what we're trying to do. We're trying to create a support group for our highest levels of productivity and accountability so that you can build the life that nobody else gets to have. Now, I'm offering our viewers a pretty sweet deal right now. If you sign up using the link below, you're going to get your first week in Tribe for just $1. So if you're ready to get it together, if you're ready to create a freedom lifestyle, click the link in the description below. Okay, gang, I want to hear from you. I get it. It's hard to hear me say this when you think you're out of time. So come at me hard if you disagree with me, but also be honest. Let me know if you've tracked your time or not. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up if you think we've earned it. And if you're obsessed with human potential and living your best life like we are, consider subscribing to this channel and joining our journey to complete lifestyle freedom. I'll see you in that next video.